Today is Reach for Your Dreams Day. I have been thinking about this for a while and want to share my opinion and ask your experience and advice how to best reach for your dreams. Should you push and fight, or should you just be more accepting of what happens and know that this is for the best? There is different advice. In principle, my experience has shown that when I know what I want, I visualize, I bring it to me with my thoughts in visualization. And if I do too much, that effort isn't productive, and it actually is counterproductive. And sometimes things happen which we may or I may not think are fair, but then the universe rewards me that I haven't been fighting. And I will provide 2 examples and would love to hear your opinion and examples, because everyone wants to know how to most effectively reach for their dreams and achieve them both in personal and professional life. One example is when I was working in Chicago in the Psychiatry Institute. In 2000, I was scheduled to present my work on expression of reeling and GABAergic markers in postmortem brain of patients with psychiatric disorders, schizophrenia, depression, and bipolar disorder with or without psychosis. And when we were rehearsing with my supervisor, Dr. Costa, and Dr. Guidotti, it was one Sunday, Dr. Costa got very upset that I talked quietly. And he started yelling, said something in Italian that I can't present because no one from his team can talk so quietly. And so I was very disappointed. When I went home, I cried. But I was afraid to contradict Dr. Costa because I wanted to keep my job. And although my abstract was already in the program of the Society for Neuroscience meeting, I did not present it, and all of my colleagues went to San Diego, and I didn't go. But I wasn't sad afterwards. I didn't feel any way resentful, and my brother and my sister-in-law were there, and they sent me a postcard, and everything was fine. And so I thought it wasn't fair because there are microphones, but that was my supervisor's decisions. He was yelling, and I was afraid to say anything. And Dr. Guidotti was there, and another colleague, Giovanni Carboni. No one said anything in my defense. And afterwards, Dr. Guidotti told me you have to fight more for your rights and not run away from problems. But what happened? Maybe I saw that this is Dr. Costa's character, and there is no point in creating further friction and contradiction. And so, when I went to work at University of Michigan at Ann Arbor in 2002, I started working again on postmortem brain in patients with schizophrenia, depression, and bipolar disorder, however with glutamatergic markers. And I had an opportunity to publish a paper. It was a brief paper in the New York Academy of Sciences, and I presented my work at the conference of the New York Academy of Sciences, which was in person in New Haven, Connecticut, and it was with such notable psychiatrists, and even Dr. Paul Greengard was there, and I met a lot of people. I don't want to mention names who are notable authorities in psychiatry, molecular psychiatry, and even I have a LinkedIn connection, Dr. Hussein Imanji, and other LinkedIn connections who were at that meeting. So I think the universe, in a way, rewarded me that I didn't say anything, and I had opportunity to present again on schizophrenia. And later on, I didn't go to San Diego then, but I went to a meeting in 2004 that was sponsored by my dad. He decided it would be good for me to go. Then I worked in San Diego in the neuropharmacology department from 2007 to 2008 as a research associate, and I actually worked in the lab of Dr. Floyd Bloom, who Dr. Costa was bringing up in conversations that they worked together at NIH. So I had the opportunity to do research and live in this beautiful area of the US for 3 years, although I didn't go. So things just occurred this way, that although I wasn't allowed to go to San Diego and to present on postmortem brain and schizophrenia without hiding it, the universe rewarded my efforts, and I had opportunities afterwards. Another example is when I was a fellow in neuroscience at the Dominic P. Porpora Department of Neuroscience from 2005 to 2007. After my fellowship finished the second year, I loved working there. I loved the topic of synaptic plasticity and wanted to work. Dr. Suzanne Zukin said she might have a position in her lab, but she didn't have for me, and so I told my supervisor, Dr. Reed Carroll, is there any possibility for me to stay? No. So although I was disappointed, I went to La Jolla, California at the Scripps Research Institute. And I even wanted to live in my place where I currently live, which I really liked. I liked the people and the location. And I went to California, and I was happy that I worked there, and I lived in this warm part of the world, beautiful nature. And it just so happened that I found again a job back in New York City without fighting it. I actually wanted to find a job in La Jolla, but it wasn't possible. And so I came back, and circumstances were such that initially I stayed at a colleague of mine in Long Island, but it was a very long commute, and I decided to look for another place. I came back to where I live and lived 15 years. So, without fighting it, I came back, and not only came back, but I did another fellowship at Albert Einstein College of Medicine in psychiatry, a 3-year fellowship with Dr. Eric Hollander. And again, I worked in this wonderful medical university at another higher level, which is more consistent with my MD PhD training, so it was clinical research in psychiatry. And so I want to provide these as examples that when I don't find something, the universe delivers my dreams and what I have visualized. But this is difficult sometimes even for me, because I think that by putting more effort I might change the course of things, but it seems that the less effort we put, we do the inner work, know what we do our best. If it is meant to be, it will happen and our dreams will come true. This does not mean not to make efforts, but to be more accepting. So thank you for your attention. I would love to hear your opinions, how you have reached for a dream that you want. Be well.